Good afternoon. Today is Saturday, December 1st, 2018, and welcome to this edition of State of the Yankees. First of all, I'd like to start off by apologizing for the last few weeks for all my fans who have been looking for videos and waiting for the next content and to dissect all the off-season acquisitions and rumors and everything. I want to take full ownership over the fact that I've been absent for the last few weeks. I know that I need to be consistent if I'm going to do this, and this is a labor of love more than anything else. I don't do this for the money. I don't do this for the fame. I do this because I love talking about the Yankees. I love talking about baseball. I love watching the game. I love dissecting trades, rumors, statistics, everything about it. So let me first start off by taking ownership over the lack of videos the last few weeks. I'm sorry. Having said that, let's move on to some of the hot button items here. Manny Machado and Bryce Harper are still very much on the market, and they're going to be for a little while, primarily because they are the two biggest names on the off-season stage. And as any good agent's going to do, they're going to try and shop these players around, and get the best deal humanly possible, which means you don't make quick decisions. At the same time, you've got over 100 other free agents or possible trade options that are pretty much waiting until those two are gone before they can get their deals. I totally get that. That's the nature of the off-season. However, today I wanted to focus on the Yankees' biggest need, and that is pitching. We've already secured James Paxton from Seattle. I can go over my opinion of that trade and that acquisition in a future video. Today, I want to focus on the hot button issue of Patrick Corbin from the Arizona DBacks. Now, it's quite clear at this point that he's most likely not going to be returning to Arizona. They are a small market team, and when you've got Washington, Philadelphia, and the Yankees in on trying to secure his services, they have the resources, the money, the fan bases, and all kinds of things that will attract an up-and-coming star that Arizona just can't compete with. I mean, you look at 2001 when Randy Johnson and Curt Schilling went on the market there. Arizona just didn't have the resources to compete with Boston and New York, and both players ended up in big market teams. Arizona is like one of those teams like Oakland or Tampa, where they can't really compete with the players, with the big teams. So when a player is worth something and reaches free agency, they're like, okay, move on, go back to the farm system. We can certainly develop players. We certainly developed Didi Gregorius, who also ended up with the Yankees, and they have Goldschmidt, and they have other players up and coming. So Arizona's going to be fine. They're going to be fine. They've certainly shown they can be competitive, even if they haven't been to the postseason in a while. Getting back to Corbin. Now, Corbin has yet to pitch a full season injury-free. That is a concern. But that's also the elephant in the room. Everybody knows this. ESPN and other sports channels have been very, very vocal about the fact that he has yet to pitch a full season, so much so that Corbin even has a pre-written soundbite just for this. Every time somebody asks him about his health, he says, I've learned a lot about my body, and I'm going to do everything I can to stay healthy. Because that's what you have to say when you have a history of not completing a full season healthy. I get that. Whether or not that happens remains to be seen. We will find out regardless of where he lands. What I do see here is, should the Yankees be able to land Corbin, you've got the makings of something else that was done by the Yankees, say 2009, say A.J. Burnett and CC Sabathia, and what happened when we brought in those two arms. It doesn't matter the fact that Sabathia has declined over the last decade. It's been quite a while since he was the best pitcher in the league. And A.J. Burnett was a burnout after the championship, but we got the championship. I see New York trying to bring in those arms to do whatever they can to win this year. Can they win additional championships with these two players? That remains to be seen. It didn't work out with the Pettit, Burnett, Sabathia trio after 2009. They had too many other holes in their team. They didn't have the depth. They didn't have in the rotation or the lineup to follow that up after 2009. But this year, we have a lot of young players. We have a lot of players who are really tearing it up. You've got your Gleyber Torres, you've got your Andujar, you've got your Aaron Judge, you've got your Stanton, you've got Severino had a fantastic first half of the year last year. You've got a lot of talent on this year that is looking for that one piece to get them over the edge. And with the rotation being their weak spot, they're bringing in James Paxton, and they're trying to get Corbin to try and solidify that rotation, which will give you, if they are getting Corbin, who happens to be a big-time Yankees fan, that certainly helps with the sales pitch, but you still have to compete with the other teams on the market, the Phillies, Nationals, and others who are courting him actively. But should we get him, then you've got a rotation of Luis Severino, James Paxton, Masahiro Tanaka, Patrick Corbin, and your CC Sabathia. Is that a formidable lineup? I think it has a lot of potential. Do I see 5 potential 20-game winners? Not by a long shot. Do I see the ability to be highly competitive? Sure. But where we end up is going to be largely contingent upon what players show up. I mean, the players that we signed, or whether adjustments to our team and our media and our fan base play a toll on them. Can they give us that extra notch in the postseason that we need? It remains to be seen. Having said that, based upon the numbers, Corbin has been getting better and better each year. He had Tommy John surgery 4 years ago, and his numbers each year since then have been slightly better. Could he have a breakout year and be the Cy Young contender next year? It's entirely possible. It really is. Luis Severino had a fantastic first half of the year, and then he fell off. Will he be back? I certainly hope so. I'll be rooting for it. But in the postseason last year, the only pitcher who did a good job was Masahiro Tanaka. And you just don't get very far with just one pitcher. Granted, in the wild card, we did do phenomenal. So, Tanaka aside, that was a great game. Okay, having said that, do I agree with Corbin's selection over getting somebody like Dallas Keuchel or Cole or anybody else in the market? You know, given the fact that they can get Corbin without giving up your draft picks, without giving up a lot of trades, and it's just money out of pocket, it does make the most sense that they're pursuing Corbin over Keuchel or others. Because the other players who are big-ticket items, Bumgarner and others, they are either have been tendered contracts or arbitration, so they would, if they do sign someplace else, those teams do get draft picks and money from the Yankees, which is an additional cost over just cash to the player itself. So it does make sense that they would pursue Corbin, because then you're just talking dollars, and you don't have to worry about trade value, you don't have to worry about draft picks, you don't have to worry about any of those other factors that come into play. And he has impressed the Yankees back office to the point where they really rolled out the red carpet when he was in the Yankee Stadium. Do I want him on our team? I think that there are other pitchers that might have better years next year, but given the price tag for him, he's a very reasonable choice, especially for a team that wants to stay relatively close to the luxury tax threshold. Will it cost them more than they want to spend? Probably. Are they willing to do that for him? Probably. Do I see him signing with the Yankees? More than likely. I really do. Because of how aggressively they're pursuing him, how much he loves the Yankees growing up, and a big fan of Pettit and everything. The concern I have is the fact that because you have other big market teams like the Phillies and Nationals in play on this, the Yankees wanted to give him 4 years. And those other teams are easily going to be able to push them to 6 years to secure his services, because when it comes down to it, you can get 4 years for X number of dollars from the Yankees who you love, or you can do phenomenally better on 6 years and, let's say, $180 million for through somebody else who's willing to open their pockets and reach deep. And I think if you're being objective over what's best for your family, you go with the best deal possible, whether it's with the Yankees or not. However, having said that, the Yankees are not exactly one to shy away from competition. If they want you bad enough, they're going to dig deep, and they'll figure out a way to shine. It's very rare that they would lose a player that they really wanted unless they did something really stupid, like they did with Curt Schilling. They could have brought Curt Schilling to the Yankees, and they just totally botched that deal. If you want to hear all about that, feel free to read about it in Joe Torre's My Yankee Years, or The Yankee Years. It was a phenomenal read. I think he bashed players a little bit too much, but coming from Joe Torre, I'll kind of read between the lines and take what I can get just to hear his stories and to hear his thoughts and his experience on managing the Yankees for a good long time and through so many championships. So, do I think the Yankees will get Corbin? More than likely. Do I think he's a good fit? Probably. He is coming from a small market team. He's never played for a big market team. Arizona is a very small market. He's they're a kind of team that the Zach Greinke and Randy Johnson can handle. But we have yet to know if Corbin can handle a big market team and the media and everything associated with that, because he's never done it before. But this will be an excellent way to find out if he can. And here's the thing. It's the Yankees. If he doesn't work out, you think they won't just drop him or trade him or something else? They can certainly afford that cost. They're not a team that walk away from bad decisions. Keigawa spent an entire year in the minor leagues despite getting a full major league salary, because they're like, well, he's not cutting it here. We'll just bite the bullet, eat the cost, and have him pitch in the minor leagues, and let him go, kind of thing. So they do have options. They're not afraid, no matter how much they're paying a person to do that. So we'll see what happens with the trade negotiations, but I am expecting Corbin will eventually sign the dotted line with the Yankees. Let me know what you think about what I think, and until next time, have a great day.